Continuing from the previous episode 2260. Dong dong dong. Sir, they are here. Elder Dagon reached out and knocked on the door of the wing room, and said to the figure inside. Let them in. You can take this opportunity to prepare for the plane meeting. We will start the plane meeting immediately after the meeting. Time is a matter of every second, and there is no time to delay. A serious voice came from the wing, and the voice was deep, but it contained some kind of shocking fluctuation. Yes! After the Elder Dagon finished speaking, he immediately retreated, and Xiao Yan and the two naturally entered easily. Buzz just stepped into the wing, but the surrounding space changed drastically, making people feel dizzy, as if the void here had been deliberately imprisoned. Space domain? Xiao Yan exclaimed before he could look at the void here. The sense of smell is quite keen. I am the Daqiangong Demon Slayer King, Leng Luochen. Xiao Yan, it's nice to meet you. There were no ordinary decorations in the wooden wing room, but an extremely stable space domain. In the space vortex above the space, a middle-aged man with a dark yellow complexion lit up slightly, staring at Xiao Yan. The Demon King? Xiao Yan frowned, then squeezed Zuner tightly in his palm, obviously not knowing how to deal with this scene. The seemingly serious demon slayer in front of him, although he was only middle-aged, was full of white hair. He had obviously been through vicissitudes of life, and invisibly gave Xiao Yan a very strong sense of crisis. His sense of danger was even higher than that of the fire elves. Elder Eliza is even stronger. This is my domain, and our conversation will not be known to anyone. What do you want to know? Just ask. After all, I also want something from you. The middle-aged man walked towards Xiao Yan step by step. The majestic power was as vast as a bottomless deep sea. Those power filled the air, as if he was examining or exploring something in Xiao Yan's body. What's the matter with this face-to-face meeting? Xiao Yan thought for a while and decided to ask. The plane meeting has been an exchange meeting of the younger generation since ancient times, but this meeting is a bit special. Leng Luochen opened his mouth, but his voice contained a touch of unquestionable majesty, and his eyes never left Xiao Yan's body since the beginning. This demon slayer looks only middle-aged. His handsome face and that cold aura make people shudder, and his strength is unfathomable. I'm afraid he is at least more tyrannical than Eliza. I don't know why the Demon King is looking for me. Xiao Yan looked indifferent, then watched the latter and slowly opened his mouth. According to the information I got, you should have several holy flames in your body, right? At this moment, Leng Luochen suddenly grinned, from a serious look to a very soft one. Extraterritorial evil race? When Xiao Yan heard the words, he couldn't help being stunned for a moment. Although the holy flame in his body was no longer a secret, he couldn't help but be surprised when he heard it from the Devil Slayer's mouth. This kind of thing is not a good thing. Do not. Our Daqiangong has been established for a long time, and many powerful Demon Slayer kings have been born. Today, I'm just coming from behind, far behind those seniors. And some of these demon kings have fallen for countless years, and naturally left behind extremely precious treasures. Among them, the Wufu of the Demon Slayer King Zhou Yuan's predecessor is the place where we have obtained the most accurate information. There are many treasures in the Wufu, among which there are many supreme methods and many great opportunities to spy on the secrets of heaven. After Leng Luochen waited for a while, the taste changed when the words came to his lips. Zhou Yuan, the Demon King, has fallen. Why can he still use his name and aura to issue the Great Thousand League Scroll? And what does this have to do with my holy flame? Xiao Yan was puzzled and looked at Leng Luochen with doubts. Zhou Yuan and Leng Luochen both belong to the Demon Slayer King, but the so-called Demon Slayer King undoubtedly has some strengths and weaknesses. You don't need to think about it to know that the former is naturally more powerful and prestige. Lord Zhou Yuan's Wufu is located in an evil area, which is one of the residences of the evil tribes outside the territory, so if you want to go there, you must be isolated by the fire of holy flame, otherwise we can't get close. Leng Luochen shook his head, then looked at Xiao Yan firmly, as if he had settled for the latter. But what does this have to do with me? Among the Great Thousand Worlds, I shouldn't be the only one in charge of the holy flame. If you find anyone, your strength is more terrifying than me. Listening to Leng Luochen's words, Xiao Yan also smiled slightly. Obviously these two are old foxes. Once the holy flame recognizes the master, it cannot be deprived. This also creates the noble status of the master of the holy flame. As for the other powerhouses, because they are guarding various fortresses in the Great Thousand World, they can't leave, and now the foreign evil clan is about to move, and our top combat power can't move rashly. This time the Battle of the Mansion is the main point of your plane meeting. Course, Leng Luochen explained, and then looked at Xiao Yan with an unfinished look. What's in it for me? Xiao Yan suddenly asked without a smile. This kind of thing can't be sloppy. The benefits are of course yours. But after things are over, our Daqiangong will be responsible for sending you into the void, and everything you gain in the cave will be yours. Other specific details will be discussed at the plane meeting. Well, you keep this thing. It should be able to help you in some places in the Wufu. After Leng Luochen finished speaking, a piece of noble golden paper suddenly appeared and handed it to Xiao Yan. This is. Zuner, who had been silent for a while, suddenly frowned and looked at the golden piece of paper in front of Xiao Yan with a little stunned expression. The golden paper is as clean as white paper, and there are no lines or marks on it, but it is filled with a vast aura. Let's go. You go to the plane conference room first, and I'll be there later. After finishing speaking, the space domain was lifted, the wing room returned to normal. Xiao Yan and the two walked towards the plane conference room under the leadership of the Daqiangong staff. It wasn't until Xiao Yan disappeared from sight that the void in the wing wriggled, and an old man rushed out with a face full of shame, and then looked at the disappearing Xiao Yan and murmured, "Just use them like this. Wouldn't it be too cruel? King Ji-Yu-kun, have you forgotten the tragic state of being tortured by foreign evil races in the Great Thousand World? After countless years of development, all the top forces on the human world continent just want to stay in a corner, and doing so now is a last resort. After all, if you want to shake the foundation of the evil races outside the realm, we rely on us alone. The palace is not enough. Moreover, the Demon King in our Great Thousand Palaces has lost too much in the battles of the past dynasties. If he does not use some special things to integrate his strength, I am afraid that he will not be able to resist the Second World War. I have a hunch that the Daqin world has been so quiet in recent years, and the evil races outside the territory have begun to gather. I am afraid they are already planning to attack our Daqin territory." Leng Luochen scolded the Demon King with resentment on his face, shook his head and sighed. "Perhaps, wait until this lord is rescued, and let us both bear all the crimes by ourselves. Daqin world will be guarded by our Daqin League Daqin Palace. This trip to the Martial Palace can be regarded as a battle between us and the evil race outside the territory." The voice fell, and the two demon slayers also hid here, but this trip to the plane meeting is probably not so simple. Please remember the first domain name of this book. Mobile version update fastest URL. Continuing from the previous episode 2261. Brother Xiao Yan, that Leng Luochen's look at the Demon King just now doesn't seem right. It looks like he wants to speak, but in my opinion, I'm probably hiding something. When walking in the Daqiangong Palace to the conference room, Zuner used her soul power to communicate with Xiao Yan. If a powerful person like the Demon King was summoned alone, he probably had an obvious intention. All the evidence pointed to the golden piece of paper that was given to Xiao Yan. It's true, and I'm afraid it's not that simple. You can only adapt accordingly. After speaking, the two went straight to the conference room. Xiao Yan was able to detect some hidden traces that proved that this trip might be in danger, but there was no way. This was something that had to be experienced. Coming. Xiao Yan is here? The guy who was personally named by the Demon King to meet. What did he explain behind his back? At this time, above the conference hall, all the proud sons of the sky sat quietly, but these words echoed in their minds. In the main hall of the Daqiangong conference room, it is distributed on 4 sides, reserved for dozens of heaven's favored people to sit quietly. Oh. After a while, the Tianfeng clan woman looked away from Xiao Yan, and when she looked at Zuner, an aura of astonishment emerged. That kind of feeling is like the upper-level suppression in the blood, which is especially obvious. Tianfeng clan, Feng Qin. Feng Qin walked over directly, her eyes kept on Zuner, but she couldn't help but speak. Dignified, skilled, quiet, and also has an indescribable noble temperament, coupled with that flawless face and figure, even Feng Qin, a demon girl from the Tianfeng family, thinks she is inferior. Endless fire territory, Gu Zuner. Zuner didn't hesitate. She stretched out her palm generously, and held it. She naturally knew that this was because of Senior 9 Profound Fire Lord's Reincarnation Seal and the effect of Phoenix Nirvana Pill, but since the other party was Fire Phoenix Domain, Zuner naturally, it is also happy to do so. Since people are almost there, the plane meeting will begin here. However, before the plane meeting, a simple process needs to be carried out. Just under the tense atmosphere of the two girls, a soft voice sounded, and Elder Dagon and Demon Executioner Leng Luochen walked out from the back of the hall together. The Demon King, a super strong person who can kill the Red King of the extraterritorial evil race. With the appearance of the two, the entire conference room was filled with silence, and everyone's eyes were fixed on them. From them, they could smell a terrifying force that truly moved the world. I don't know what process to go through. Some guys looked at each other in dismay. Apparently it was the first time that they had to make so many preparations before the plane meeting. Everyone should have a magic stone in their hands, right? Elder Dagon said with a smile. Magic suppression stone. Do you want to detect the demon killing points in our hands? When the Elder Dagon said this, people with a heart can't help but wake up. Magic suppression stone? When Xiao heard the words, he couldn't help being stunned. This thing seems to be obtained during the experience in the ghost world. It is said that every time you kill an alien race, points will appear and be automatically recorded. Points can be exchanged for some useful things, but most of them are only things that are applicable to reincarnation. Therefore, Xiao has not checked it since he exchanged for the swallowing inflammation, and Xiao has never heard of other effects. Did Big Brother Xiao forget? Magic Suppression Stone is a special stone that records the points of killing demons. It is extremely sensitive to evil forces. Once a team or a single person kills a strong foreigner, points will be automatically generated. Similar to the supreme title of Demon Slayer King, it is said that 1 million Demon Slayer points are required. You can only get points by killing the strong among the evil tribes outside the realm. From weak to strong, the heaven and earth are the 5th rank of the Emperor, of which the King ranks 100,000 points, the Black King 200,000 points, the White King 300,000 points, and the Red King. The King has 900,000 slaying points. Xuanur knew a lot about these things, so she reminded her aloud. I know these things, but it seems that my thing only applies to the ghost world. Xiao shook his head, then walked towards the Elder Dagon who had already started testing, and at the same time took out the magic suppressing stone in his hand. But this time the magic suppressing stone was different from the past. It seemed to be much heavier or even a little bit fiercer. The incomparable blood glow is looming, extremely terrifying. This fluctuation is. The always quiet Leng Luochen frowned and couldn't help staring at the magic suppressing stone in front of Xiao. At this time, the magic suppressing stone is covered with countless cracks, and a trace of blood spreads in the cracks. It looks like it is about to crack, which is extremely terrifying. 170. The inspecting elder looked at the numbers flashing on the test stone in front of him, and said with great difficulty, "Boy, are you a magic stone?" The next moment, Leng Luochen couldn't help taking a breath and asked. It's unbelievable. The Demon King in his dignified palace has only 1,200,000 demon execution points. This mere guy with reincarnation level strength is actually more powerful than himself? The 1,200,000 demon execution points took him thousands of years, and he survived several times before he achieved the supreme title and status of the Demon Execution King today. Sir, is this the Blood King Mo? Evil Scholar? Blood Centipede Prince? A series of names that could be seen and seen among the evil races outside the realm poured out from the mouths of the elders, and the air in the entire conference hall instantly froze. Among the extraterritorial evil races, the powerhouses like these who were famous in the First World War are naturally well known to every household. These are all the powerhouses from the extraterritorial evil race that you killed? After a long time, Leng Luochen turned his head and stared at Xiao as if he were looking at a monster. The whereabouts of the powerhouses among the extraterritorial evil clans are extremely hidden, and even they cannot easily find their traces. How could Xiao kill so many extraterritorial evil clans? Among them, there are all kinds of rank, including the Red King rank Blood Centipede Prince among the foreign evil clan. Indeed, when Xiao saw the hall that was filled with deathly silence, he didn't understand why for a while, but he was stunned about the points above the demon suppression stone. Brother Xiao, It is said that the magic stone was cast by Daqiangong and then distributed to the major managers of the 7 realms. Magic suppression stone can clearly record the aliens that the holder has killed, even their names and so on. It seems that Brother Xiao Yan is hiding a lot. Zuner said with a smile at this time. 2 small tiger teeth were exposed, and she looked at Xiao Yan with admiration on her face. Her appearance was extraordinarily intimate and small. 1.7 million slaying points, and obliterating a red king. Master Leng, Your Excellency Xiao Yan can be promoted to our great Thousand Palace. The Demon King. The words of the Elder Dagon sounded like a thunderbolt from the blue sky. His voice was hoarse, and he said very bluntly. The Demon King. This guy's life record can actually be promoted to the Demon King? The others looked at Xiao Yan with fear. Demon Slayer King. The 3 words almost represent the top forces in the human world today. Who is not the most powerful person who wants to come to Daqin Palace to hold the title of Demon Slayer King? This Xiao Yan's strength is only at the peak of the reincarnation level, so he can actually be contaminated with this kind of thing? And most importantly, once the title of Demon Slayer King can be obtained, the treasure of Daqiangong will be opened to him. That is a peerless treasure hidden by countless geniuses in the Daqin world. Please remember the first domain name of this book. Mobile version update fastest URL. Continuing from the previous episode 2262. Since the status and position are over, let's start the plane meeting. Everyone, please take your seats. Starting today, Xiao Yan from the Endless Fire Territory has officially become the 99th Demon Slayer King in my Great Thousand Palace. When this incident is over, this king will grant you the title of Demon Slayer King, and at the same time, I will exhaust the resources of our Daqiangong to train you. After a long time, Leng Luochen said in a deep voice. For the demon punishment point, this kind of thing cannot be faked, and it cannot rely on the strength of others, but only on one's own strength. In addition, Xiao Yan has a holy flame in his body, and after weighing it, he can only come up with this last resort. If that's the case, then I would like to thank Master Leng. Xiao Yan was slightly overjoyed in his heart, and immediately clasped his fists and said, That's all. Let's start our plane meeting next. Do you still have any objections? Leng Luochen looked around, saw that not many of the strong people in the field spoke, and said immediately. There was a dead silence. At this time, Xiao Yan seemed to have become a huge mountain, which made these heavenly people here suffer a lot. Since there is no dispute, then this plane meeting officially begins. Leng Luochen's voice fell. Leng Luochen, Xiao Yan, and the elders of Dagon stood on the main hall, and Leng Luochen spoke first. This face-to-face meeting, what does Daqiangong want to do? The other nearly 50 Tianzhao heard the words and sat down leisurely, but they quickly calculated what would happen next in their minds. In the past, the plane meetings were all competitions for the young people with the top strengths in our human world continent. But this time there will be some changes. I believe everyone is familiar with the 4 characters of foreign evil tribes, right? Leng Luochen spoke up. This plan that had already been made is now being conveyed to these guys little by little through the plane meeting. Of course, although the plane meeting is a gathering of the younger generation of the top forces in the human world, there are also very few forces that disdain to participate, such as Jianyu, who is dedicated to practicing kendo, etc., but after all, this is only a minority. Extraterritorial evil race? After the First World War, the evil tribes from outside the territory were defeated. Aren't they already defeated? Could it be that they are making a comeback? After the end of the Heaven and Earth War, several seniors who were righteous and awe-inspiring, burned reincarnation and suppressed cracks in the sealed plane. How could it not be broken so easily? As soon as Leng Luochen's words came out, the whole hall exploded in an instant. With the hatred and understanding of these guys for the alien race, they were definitely among the best. There has not been any fluctuation in the cracks in the plane, but because of the First World War, although our Great Thousand World has won, it has paid a huge price, and countless great powers have fallen, including many in our Great Thousand Palace. Demon King Zhou Yuan, do you still have any impressions? Leng Luochen waited until everyone's sighs subsided for a while, and then opened his mouth. The Demon King Zhou Yuan? It is said that this is a real ruthless man. For the sake of his beloved wife, he forcibly broke into a royal residence somewhere among the evil tribes outside the territory and killed the entire race, including several kings and a strong Red King. Finally retreat. But I remember that this great man seems to have fallen sadly after the First World War. It is rumored that the deadline is coming. Feng Qin opened her mouth slightly. Obviously she knew more about this great power than others. This plain meeting is actually mainly a chance. After the fall of Lord Zhou Yuan, he transformed into a military mansion and was located in a void area, where it was invaded and surrounded by powerful foreigners all day long. Even we couldn't stay for a long time. You should not be unfamiliar with the prestigious name of Wufu, right? Seeing everyone's astonishment, Leng Luochen threw out a shocking piece of information. Wufu? Wufu is actually Lord Zhou Yuan's residence? Surprised voices emerged one after another, and in the entire hall, eyes suddenly filled with extreme enthusiasm. In Wufu, it is said that there is an almost abnormal fighting skill. The holy body of Emperor Wu. No one knows the specific rank, but there are rumors that the former senior Zhou Yuan used this technique to forcefully block the attacks of the Red King rank powerhouses among the evil tribes outside the territory. It is said that this is a peerless fighting technique that specializes in strengthening the body. The rumored level may have already reached the category of the Great Forbidden Technique. In the future, immortal arts will be small forbidden techniques, medium forbidden techniques, and big forbidden techniques. In the future, it will be god-level fighting techniques. But that kind of thing is too ethereal. Zuner put her small hand next to Xiaoyan's ear, exhaled softly and said, causing Xiaoyan to be like a hot wave. CC, the strongest physical strengthening fighting skill under the *** rank? Then the full version of the Dragon God transformation, could it be *** rank? Xiaoyan nodded seriously, but he was surprised. The affairs of the Wufu are of great importance. Please forgive me for this king's more trouble. We already have the exact information of the Wufu. However, due to the restriction of the powerful among the evil races outside the territory, we cannot let the real Xian take action, so our hope can only be pinned on you. There is nothing else to ask for in this trip. Everything you have obtained from the Wufu belongs to you. All we ask for is to bring back the corpse of Lord Zhou Yuan. All those who are interested, stay. We will formulate a more detailed plan later. If you have concerns, just leave. Leng Luochen spoke naturally, and there was no force in his voice. Everyone heard the words, and their expressions changed. On one side, there was an extremely huge place of opportunity, and on the other side, there was a danger-ridden outside world. Obviously, it was extremely difficult to decide. Since no one backs down, then a trip to the Wufu is up to you. Elder Kun, I'll ask you to maintain the shuttle in the extraterritorial space. Xiaoyan, the isolation of the extraterritorial space is up to you. Leng Luochen said to an old man at the back of the hall. Hey, it's okay, I've never seen such a hot-blooded young talent. A faint smile came from behind, but the voices were filled with a terrifying force that surpassed the heavens and the earth. A soul that surpasses the Yuan Huayuan realm. Divine wandering? Xiaoyan's inner spiritual palace buzzed violently. Obviously, the pressure this guy gave him was too strong. Dong, dong, dong. Immediately, the void in the hall twisted, and sticky black air appeared around the space channel, which was the space channel connecting the outside world. Puff. This is the detailed information map of the Wufu. I have used my soul power to pass it on to your minds. I will ask you all for this trip to the Wufu. Xiaoyan, as the Demon Slayer, is solely responsible for this command. I, Leng Luochen, welcome all of you for your triumphant return. After doing all this, Leng Luochen bowed heavily to the strong men. King Leng is polite. Go! When everyone heard the words, they got up one after another, and immediately stepped into the space passage. Under the protection of the soul power of Demon Slayer King Kun Lao, who was like a wandering world, they went to the extraterritorial space. There, it is the place where the Demon King Zhou Yuan fell, and it is also the place where the treasures of his mansion are stored. Demon King, this is the peerless power that stifled the Red King rank in the Great World, and what kind of fiery contest will be born in the mansion left behind? Please remember the first domain name of this book. Mobile version update fastest URL. Continuing from the previous episode 2263. Boom! In the vast space passage, nearly an hour's leap, everyone came to the destination together. Outside the territory, according to the information given to them by Demon Executioner Leng Luochen, This is a special place in the outer territories called Xuangi territory. The land here is full of corpses and broken weapons. It is obviously a battlefield that has undergone fierce confrontation. The land and space are all morbidly gray, and the dry blood is particularly eye-catching. Moreover, in this world, the whole body is dark and dim. There is no sunlight or temperature to speak of. In the dark and gloomy world outside the realm, the dark red light falls from the sky like a meteorite. Every time it whistles, there are actually sticky black shadows coming out of you. Under the invasion of these forces, even the void turns into nothingness. Those black shadows are raging, as if searching for food, and the sound made invisibly is simply appalling. Brother Xiao Yan, everyone came to this land easily, and quietly set foot on the barren land. Zuner held Xiao Yan tightly in the palm of his hand, leaning against each other, and his eyes were constantly alert to this world. Anxiety, heart palpitations, fear, unknown, all kinds of senses are mixed together, making these proud sons feel an inexplicable irritability. This mysterious ghost realm is really dangerous. Xiao Yan displayed the glazed glaze and used his holy flame power and Kun Lao's majestic soul power to temporarily isolate this extraterritorial space to prevent it from being discovered by the real supreme beings of the extraterritorial evil clan, and then looked around. Those terrifying shadows in the void, their eyes are dignified. This kind of place is already considered to be the core place in the outside world. Even if it is some ordinary double reincarnation rank, terror will stay here forever, not to mention their group of people, whose strength is spread all over the reincarnation rank and the first reincarnation rank. According to the information, in the high sky of this void, is Senior Zhou Yuan, where the Wufu is located. In addition to the fighting skills at the level of the Great Forbidden Technique, there are countless rare and precious treasures in the Wufu. Before everyone's eyes were completely lost, several heavens chosen with samsara strength hurriedly got up, and the speed skyrocketed. Towards this unknown space swept away. In the dark and gloomy space, a huge and boundless mansion stands in the sky, surrounded by an unknown and terrifying force. Under this force, even the evil forces in this space send out a burst of fear. And looking at it intently, the void around the mansion actually has a very serious sense of shattering. It seems that under that inexplicable force, the whole world is shaking. Cici. Xiao Yan stared at the mansion surrounded by mysterious power in the distance, couldn't help but gasped, and his body became tense uncontrollably. With his soul power, he couldn't explore this mansion? Moreover, once the soul power touches the surrounding of the Taoist mansion, it seems to be absorbed by a bottomless black hole, and a sense of fear and horrific fear emerges. A handwriting of this level is worthy of being the demon slayer in the Great Thousand Palaces. Stay, don't go there, come back to me. Be careful and scare the snake. Before Xiao Yan could find a way to break the situation, the figures of a few eager sons turned into black shadows and immediately overflowed. Seeing this, Xiao Yan snorted coldly, and the majestic soul power poured out like a tide, covering the figures of everyone who was waiting for an opportunity. In normal times, Xiao Yan would never care about the lives of these people, but this time was different. This time, he was facing a foreigner, a common enemy of the world. Moreover, this is the base camp outside the territory. The mansion of the demon slayer King Zhou Yuan's predecessors is actually placed like this. This is obviously unreasonable, and there are many doubts. Damn! Go and chase them back. Among the extraterritorial evil races, in addition to the basic 108 royal families, there are also 17 holy races. The 17 holy races are all super races with Red King ranks. Now the mysterious ghost clan in this realm has been destroyed by Lord Zhou Yuan, but after countless reincarnations, no one can say whether there will be a new race to replace it. Xiao Yan explained that he kept looking at the void around the dozens of figures, as if this place gave him a very strong pressure. Shabu Shabu. Although many people are extremely jealous of Xiao Yan, in this special area, they can only do the same. What should we do now? Feng Qin, Zan Fengza and the others agreed with Xiao Yan's point of view, hurried over, and then said with a puzzled expression. Obviously at this time, rather than acting alone, it is more suitable to form a group to make fire. Respond to all changes with immobility. We need more intelligence, and the Wufu is so strangely suspended in the midair of this world. It's too weird. Xiao Yan shook his head, always feeling that this was a trap. This feeling. It seems that someone deliberately used the Marshall House as a bait to attract people? Zunar's beautiful eyes flowed, and Samsara Yin squirmed and exclaimed. Boom! The sound had not yet landed, and the void in the distance was directly pierced by black shadows, and the entire sky suddenly became a little deeper. Ah! A heart-piercing roar filled the world, and everyone's eyes couldn't help being attracted to it. Following that, there was a tremor originating from the depths of the soul, and the scalp was numb. At the beginning, the few arrogant sons who tried to approach the Wufu mansion did not have any strength to fight back, and the entire body was pierced by a dark shadow. The bright red blood dripped down, which was extremely harsh in this quiet, profound ghost realm, and everyone could clearly feel that their lives were rapidly weakening. The strength of the three people who acted rashly is all about the reincarnation level, and they were killed by their shadow with such a blow, and they didn't even have any strength to fight back. Seeing this, everyone couldn't help but tremble violently. Behind the shadow, there seemed to be a giant creature with dark cracks, and those cracks were like carefully carved dragon patterns. Go! The three people whose lives were fading quickly took their last breaths, looked at the black shadow in front of them with resentment, and immediately roared at Xiao Yan and the others in the distance. Crack! There was no life, and the three bodies were immediately swallowed by *** mouth, and they began to chew. This harsh chewing sound deeply pierced the heartstrings of the strong present. Even if they knew that the trip to the Wufu was by no means easy, the gap at this level was too huge. Of course, they are all the favored sons of the heavens, and naturally they will not blame the demon slayer King Leng Luochen. After all, this kind of opportunity is a life and death existence, and they clearly understand this. Brother Xiao Yan, let's go. This guy's strength is probably not something we can handle. And this is still outside the territory. Our top priority should be to enter the Wufu. The golden paper that Leng Luochen gave you should allow us to enter it. Zunar's body was covered with golden flames, and she immediately looked at Xiao Yan with a serious face. Wait, is this Deep Sea Demon Whale Clan? When Xiao Yan turned his gaze towards the black figure of the huge monster in front of him, a rare excitement filled his pupils, and he lost his voice. Please remember the first domain name of this book. Mobile version update fastest URL. Continuing from the previous episode 2264. Buzz. After the black shadow engulfed the three human corpses, he twisted his huge body and tried to approach Xiao Yan and the others. The void could not help twisting along the way, and a heavy mountain-like aura rushed toward the face, making everyone feel more stressed. Deep Sea Devil Whale? Isn't this a giant monster race in the human world? Why are you here? When Zunar heard Xiao Yan's shocking voice, she immediately looked at the latter with her beautiful eyes. Above the black shadow, there is a huge body full of 100 meters. The streamlined skin is slightly smooth. The side of its skin is engraved with jaw-dropping evil bloodlines. That kind of fluctuation is not a normal alien evil. Clan kings can have. The demon whale's tail is 100 meters in size, and there is a terrifying evil force on it. It seems that a random wave is enough to completely crush the void here. And under its abdomen, 3 dark blue round tentacles are particularly eye-catching like vines. The 3 tentacles just correspond to the deep sea devil whale with the strength of the triple reincarnation. It seems that there is really nowhere to go after breaking through the iron shoes. It takes no effort to get it. Xiao Yan smiled casually, and excitement filled his eyes. After a while, a strong killing intent flashed in his eyes, and at the same time, the power of reincarnation in his body began to surge. The strength of the deep sea devil whale is extremely tyrannical, and after being demonized, its strength is even more terrifying, so take it lightly. A deep sea demon whale of the triple reincarnation stage? When Zunar saw this, she was stunned for a moment, then smiled, and the power in her body roared at the same time. 8-star Dushan perfection was added with the power of the reincarnation seal. Even a normal reincarnation rank powerhouse could not resist. Deep Sea Demon Whale Race, originally a beast-like giant race in the Dachin world. Unexpectedly, there are rebels who judge Dachin. Their tentacles determine their strength. It seems that this is a strength that has reached the triple reincarnation level. The peerless beast. Zunar. Xiao Yan sneered, and the majestic holy flame power swept out from their bodies. Immediately, the void in the whole world was completely enveloped by the 2 forces, blocking all the escape routes for this evil creature. Wait, are they 2? Want to join forces to fight against this beast? When the other figures were surprised, Xiao Yan and Zuner had already come to the side of the devil whale and surrounded it one after the other. The golden flame and the glazed flame were very bright in this world. Now you can make a move without any worries. It just so happens that the reincarnation pill is still missing the last medicinal material. A piece of paper was swung out, and the mysterious power outside the mansion suddenly decreased, a small space channel emerged, and the golden paper was also returning to Xiao Yan's hands. Originally, Xiao Yan just wanted to give it a try, but he never imagined that this golden paper would be so mysterious. You go. Let's stop here. Xiao Yan and Zuner looked at each other, and then went directly to the devil whale. Damn. Let's go. When the other people saw this, they could not help but have a very strong admiration for Xiao Yan, and they went straight to Wufu without stopping. After all, although they are the proud sons of their respective powers, not everyone is like Xiao Yanshuner with holy flame. Bang bang bang. The energy of the two flames overflowed, immediately burning the void here, and completely illuminating the body of this giant. Dirty human beings who block this seat's meal break deserve death. The huge body of the demon whale was bound by the two color flames for a while. Seeing those figures poured into the Wufu without reservation, the violent killing intent was released, and roared fiercely at the two of them. It was originally one of the powerhouses of the deep-sea demon whale clan, but the First World War was eroded by a foreign evil clan, and then it was completely demonized. After the Zongui Saint clan was strangled by the Demon King, it guarded this place. If you don't do good things, but you are willing to fall into the devil's way, today is your death. Xiao Yan's voice fell, and the majestic and sacred power of purification surged. The power of Sheng Yan is tyrannical, but with your strength at the peak of the reincarnation level, you are just looking for a dead end. Leave this place completely for me. The three tentacles directly pierced through the void and slaughtered away with sticky demonic energy. Elegy of fire. Listen to the teachings of death. The glass-hot flames around Xiao Yan's body suddenly turned into countless flame notes under the operation of Xiao Yan's power, and then spread aggressively between this dim world. The whole world was extremely hot for a while, and the weak evil things snorted. Pochi turned into white mist and disappeared here. The intermediate-level immortal technique, Elegy of Fire, was obtained by Xiao Yan from the Emperor Yan ring. Crack! The giant pupils of the demon whale turned rapidly. During the surging of these flame notes, the whale scales on his body actually burst out with a feeling of extreme fear, and as time passed, a trace of burnt smell slowly emerged from his body. Pass it out. The demon whale, which is as tyrannical as the triple reincarnation level, can't defend against Xiao Yan's new holy flame. Whale, fall. The demon whale's huge pupils were filled with madness, and then twisted its sturdy body, suddenly turning over in midair. Wong buzzing. The demon whale suddenly turned over, and in the center of the three tentacles under its abdomen, a small, blood-colored whale shadow appeared. In an instant, Xiao Yan and Zuner's hearts suddenly tightened. Wong buzzing. The blood-colored whale shadow is only the size of a palm, but the fluctuations that spread out make Zuner's reincarnation seal shine brightly. On top of her white skin as snow, the golden flame is tightly wrapped and protected, and there is still an air of breathlessness. The feeling of suffocation is coming. Boom! The oppression released by the blood-colored whale shadow enveloped the entire void. Xiao Yan's complexion sank, and even the barren ground beneath his feet burst open inch by inch. Yep, seeing this level of attack, Zuner frowned and bit her silver teeth lightly. She was actually resisting the evil oppression of this world, and her beautiful eyes stared at the latter. Take down the body. Xiao Yan's pressure increased sharply, as if he was facing a big enemy. His lower body flew directly towards Zuner's body. Zuner's delicate body is shrouded in the body of the tyrant. The power of the blue tyrant and the power of the golden holy flame are combined, which is beautiful. The scorching sun slowly condensed. Dragon God transformation. Xiao Yan let out a loud shout. The blue dragon scales spread all over his body, and the pressure weakened a lot just now. Peefed. The palm-sized blood-colored whale shadow easily shattered the countless flame notes displayed by Xiao Yan. Immediately, the demon whale's tentacles surged, gently dragging the latter into the air, and a sense of deathly silence permeated the air. Brother Xiao Yan. The 9 scorching suns behind Zuner were in the sky, and Ling Li Ji, who set off her graceful figure, hurriedly reprimanded as she watched the demon whale act like this. Do not worry. Xiao Yan grinned, and immediately on the palm of his hand, a purple sacred crystal appeared. Above this piece of crystal, it is not as deep as the previous Sheng Yanjing, but it has a little more mystery, and a faint purple body, like a fairy in the eternal river, slim. Yao Ji, the holy flame crystal of Wulu Zilingen. At this time, in this purple holy flame crystal, bursts of dazzling purple ons actually erupted. Every trace of purple ons seemed to be able to cut through the void, full of terrifying power. Please remember the first domain name of this book. Mobile version update fastest URL.